Hello and welcome back. Match point already for series number 2 of the semi-finals. That was a fairly dominant victory from Mammoth Academy. Picking that one up over Mprox in an absolute slow one compared to the first set of the day, but victory nonetheless.
Yeah, a victory is a victory. I like that we were expecting like another explosive game. And it feels a little bit flat when you don't have them, but that doesn't really tarnish what Mammoth was able to achieve.
No.
As I said, it was their game to lose, and they showed no signs of wanting to lose it. It was a cool, calculated game from themselves. Every lane played the way I guess I expected to. Like, they really just won in the solo lanes. Even in the bot lane, just that small little victory. It was like small victories, then just added up to the win.
And I think it kind of, like, in terms of, like, the game plan there from Mammoth, like, by no means would you expect that sort of team comp to come out and, like, gank, let's get ahead and snowball.
Yeah.
But because they laned well, they just denied the win con there for Mprox. As I was saying, like, before we went to break, like, Kennen never really found space and time, which is exactly what a top lane, a split pusher needs. They need time in a side lane to make stuff happen. And he really spent probably 2 minutes maximum, like hitting a turret where the Aatrox is like trying to like deal with him underneath the tower, right? And that's not really the situation you want to be in. If you're a Kennen that ultimately has to come to a point where it's like they're pushing our Nexus, let's just like flash engage in a backline, you probably want to be AP by that point, right? But it's like it's way too far gone, and Mprox never really found like a footing in that game because Mammoth laned really well, and yeah, it was slow, but had the victory from minute 1.
Yep.
Just went onwards and upwards, and see if Mprox changed things up for game number 2.
Yeah.
They have selected red side. Every single team has selected red side today.
Yeah, no one's wanting to be on the blue side, but red side's had differing win percentages today.
What is it now? That was a red side victory for Mammoth, so I think we're 2-2. Blue side won 2 games, and then Dire Cubs won the third one on their map.
2-2.
And yeah, it's going to be 2-2, so straight down the middle. We got the split. It was looking like a roughie, you know? It was double blue victories, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it
What's
was. So for Mprox, this is going to be match point for them. They really need to think what they want to change from their composition. Like, they didn't play bad, by all means. Like, they didn't play bad, but they were just slow for their rotations. And it's funny, right? Because it's just like Mammoth played better. That's literally it. You didn't play bad, but Mammoth played better.
It's also a crappy way to lose. It sucks from a player perspective, because it's like, you had one shot. You know, like you had one fight, and it's like, oh, they ended.
Yeah.
Sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
We didn't get another chance.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, like
over.
I got caught like 4 times in a side lane and lost my team the game. It's like, oh, we lost one fight. They triple TP to our inhib and just pushed through the Nexus.
Yep. It's tough.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad time there, but Mprox certainly wanted to come out into game 2 swinging. Match point, of course, as well. Another victory for Mammoth sends them straight from first seed into the grand finals, and Mprox want to put a stop to that here in this one.
And again, if you weren't watching tonight, the winner of this series that we saw earlier was actually the Dire Cubs' final score of 2-1.
Yeah,
so
close one.
Wanting to see if we can bring this one up to game number 3 as well, but I have a feeling Mammoth are going to make that extremely difficult for Mprox to do, especially with that start.
Okay, Carthus ban again being leveraged at Paladin. I'm expecting once again to see the Riven start for Mprox and at least start off champ select similarly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Makes sense. So they really are respecting Redemps again. Even though you could argue he didn't really have much of that impact until kind of the end. Like, you would argue that Kevi really was like the bait and switch at the end there. But it's really hard to say. Like, everyone in Mammoth fulfilled their roles, as did with Mprox.
Yeah, it's hard for like Aatrox into Kennen to be able to make a hard force early.
Ezreal now, second ban taken away. So changing direction a little bit on the side of Mammoth.
Yeah, okay. So, see what sort of styles we get locked into. A bunch of like the scaling options being hit on already there for Mammoth. Silas going to be the first solo laner taken away, but Ezreal, very safe bottom laner. Karthus, he just wants to put his jungle on farm and relies on like kill threaten the lanes so that he can just, wherever he currently is on the map, press his R button and grant himself an assist. First pick.
Same opening.
Got himself an ace machine.
So same opening. Mprox as well, keeping to the same bans that they did last time around. Mammoth changing it up with that Ezreal ban. So targeting Mboma with that one. But it's just hard for Mprox. Like, where do they really put their priorities now? Because you'd need a successful win. You can't just go toe-to-toe. Not against Mammoth. Is this Tristana top?
No, I like Tristana solo. It's going to be Tristana chase the Corki around. One would expect. It was an Azir Corki matchup, and this has been the absolute powerhouse all over solo queue, all over competitive everywhere. Has an incredibly high presence rate in like international pick ban. Doesn't get through very often, but gets banned away a bunch. First time seeing it here in Oceania. Not going to be the Morgana as well, going for something like the Karma. Did get touched down on this patch, but Still incredibly strong here.
This is the shake-up that Mprox really want to see.
Shake up, shake-o.
Yeah. They're not committing to that. Cycling through.
Please do it.
You were talking about it. Weirdly enough, okay, as we entered the studio tonight, he was talking about Volibear.
I love Volibear.
Yeah.
It's a great champion.
You and like the other like 0.01% that plays it. He knows.
Yeah. But clearly Mammoth not in the same train. Not going to be...
The Zaya Rakan, so a very, very strong duo locked in this time now. We do see that Rakan, they wanted it last time, but they were deterred a little bit.
Yeah, it was Zaya Yumi and proved very effective, but are going to lock in the complete duo here in this one.
Oh, and
Kai'Sa
Boma's so comfortable on that Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
That's comfort, 101.
Ooh, okay. Going for the jungle lock-in instead. Of course, it's not really like Tristana, in theory. Haha, yes, flex pick into AD carry, but functionally very, very unlikely, so they don't really reveal too much by locking in a jungler here. Just getting some priority on the map. Of course, it is like Karthus, Talia already banned away. A couple of junglers hit, you take away Rek'Sai, you throw 2 more bans at it, and all of a sudden the pool is getting relatively thin.
Well,
Curious that the Lee Sin hits the deck. Rek'Sai is a reasonable matchup there, but I don't want Kevy playing that one.
yeah, well, they're focusing up the junglers this time around for Mprox, feeling like Kevy got away with perhaps a little bit too much. They've locked in theirs. Sash stolen away Kevy's idea of the Rek'Sai again.
What bans do we see? Most likely going to be AD carries.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I was going to say, if they didn't pick the Kai'Sa, and we know Mboma loves playing the Kai'Sa and was maybe thinking about it, I feel like Kai'Sa was a good ban, so yeah, they picked up on that one. And then Caitlyn didn't really, like, threaten Miasma enough, I feel.
Yeah.
And that's also why the Ezreal's taken away.
I feel like Kate Karma more effective than Kate Morgana. But maybe into Zaya Rakan, it's just a tough ask, right? Like pre-6, you would absolutely dominate. But once you hit that level 6 mark, like the all-in threat is a ton. Yeah, just getting rid of like early game access junglers, at least Lee Sin.
It's weird because like you rarely see them picked, but also like their strengths is very, very, very niche.
Siva, okay.
So Mboma, what else does he play? Mboma, he likes to play. He played Yasuo. They did Yasuo Ali for that game last week.
Hard, I think, with the current draft locked in.
Zaya, Kai'Sa. He's got his mains in Mboma. So he's actually been funneled out a lot.
Could go Caitlyn.
Again, yeah. But
Could
maybe
something
I feel like
niche.
if he picks that Caitlyn, it was actually Mammoth shaping him into that pick with the bans, with their picks.
To be honest, like absolutely correct there. I think they could go for Gragas and then like you just do what Gravitas did game number 1. You E-flash on the Caitlyn lane. Zaya Rakan snowballs out of control. You just want some early access to like ganking lanes. Lee Sin at least banned away, so not too many options, but Kevy still champion pool is fairly deep.
And the Camille, who was locked away last game, actually will see some play this time around. This by Mammoth.
Yeah.
How impactful will she be? Are we going to see the 10-0 or the 0-10?
That's actually a curious lock-in, right? Like, given they have to show both solo lanes, and Prox gets to decide where they want to throw the Tristana.
Yep.
I'm expecting into the Corki wherever he may rest, which, given a Camille ban, is likely mid. But that could also be... Oh.
Chain jungle.
Okay.
I like Mammoth.
Interesting.
I really like Mammoth's draft. Again, they're not going for a traditional tank in any sense of the word. It's kind of like a little bit inspired by the draft that they played in game number 1, but you do have Camille, again, that hard hitter. You do have a stronger engage, I almost feel.
I think Kane lock-in, though, is relatively greedy coming out from this one. Going up into a Caitlyn Karma, like this relies on... Okay, so it's going to be Karma solo lane. So Braum Caitlyn. But it relies on the lanes being able to withstand the pressure in isolation. Like, Kane realistically isn't going to offer much more than a counter gank if he gets a very nice read onto Rek'Sai. He's one of those champions that, with gold, farms his jungle incredibly quick. Just like zooms around the map, goes through walls, can path more efficiently, and scales incredibly well. Is picked very often into like the Sejuanis, into the big tanks, because you go Red Kayn and you just get like your entire HP bar back off an ulti.
Yep.
Well, this is not going to be the case here. Braum, tanky at best, but he's a support, so interesting lock-in and yeah, completely
like
different from game 1.
Hear me out on this. I feel like for Mammoth, they're not really regarding their early game. We saw that they were just very, very happy to have the restraint to farm. I think for them, it's just all going to be about the dive from mid to late. Once the lanes break, once they're looking, again, to just single out a target, lock them up, get those picks. But again, it's just going to be winning your lane solo. So Kane they're not interested in the ganks. They didn't need the ganks from Kevy last game.
Yeah.
So they're happy to just let him zoom around, farm for days.
Yeah, going to be the case again. Once again, a Caitlyn run back for Mboma. And the mid matchup is the one I'm most curious about. First Tristana we've seen in OS, not just OCS, but OPL as well. Have not seen it on the professional stage. So
Seen it so much in solo queue.
Yeah, going to get the debut here. See what he can do in the early game, because Rek'Sai into Kanye should have some freedom to kind of make some opportunities happen in the early stages of this one.
I just got that Kanye Kane.
Yes, Kanye. I actually really
Kanye.
struggle to call him Kane.
Really?
Yeah. And Kiana, I struggle to call Kiana.
What do you call it, Keanu?
Well, I mean, like literally Keanu, Quebec, quinoa. It can be like anything. But as soon as you say like one too many of them and you forget what the original is,
Oh,
it's just a
no.
real bad time to be a
I know I do
professional
them, like I do
shoutcaster.
Katie Lynn and stuff like that. But like,
Katie Lynn.
Yeah, Katie Lynn. You do
Yeah,
your fun
okay.
ones, yeah. Trying to think who else I do. Crocky.
Yeah, okay.
I love a good Crocky.
I can respect that. Oh. 80 carry off level 1.
Yeah, immediately into that brush. No
Skedaddles.
cares given.
Given a Braum is on Mprox, right? You can expect that Mammoth will kind of concede anything level 1. They have double 80 carry plus a Braum.
Oh,
So
yodels.
we know that they're kind of spread out all over the map. But if you get caught by Winter's Bite, it's a quick way to die.
It's GG for you. What's your take on yodels? Are you a fan of them? Do you despise them?
In TFT,
No, just
in terms of lore,
Like as in, yeah, like lore. Like, do
I
you
mean,
like them?
they're
I
kind
find
of cute.
them, oh god, I find them so irritating.
Do I play any Yordles?
Sure.
I don't think it. I play Poppy.
Ew.
Has anybody seen a hero?
Ugh. No, stop.
Just a Yordle with
At
a
least I
hammer?
only play one. Despise them.
Why?
I don't know, I find them annoying.
Because they're short?
Well, no, I'm short. So, like, I feel like I should be on Team Yordle. I just find them annoying. Like, they're always the ones that get away with the stupidest shit in the Rift. And you're like, man, feels bad to lose to them.
Okay, fair enough.
No leashes, again.
Yeah.
So, mimicking that last time. But Isles, even without that level 2 combo, still happy to go in
Yeah.
amongst Mboma.
And Boma's still holding the skill point, so just levels net and 90 calibers his way to safety, but in terms of Caitlyn, it's not really the situation you want to be starting this one off as, and given it is also a melee support into Zyra Khan, this isn't going to be
Here
the
we
Caitlyn.
go. That's some level
push
2
comp.
aggression, though, from Liv.
Yeah. And this is the problem, right? Like, press the attack, so that amplifies all your damage. If you get 3 auto attacks down before your satchel pops, like, and that is a good time, right? It's like jump on the head, satchel, 3 auto attacks is going to proc it. That's just
You saw Halo was
synergy
literally
galore.
half
Yeah.
health.
Valkyrie costs like 100 mana, and at that point, that's like his entire mana pool level 1, right? Like he's used a third on one ability because Liv hit level 2 first and just kamikazed his head.
I'm sorry, I'm
It's,
just laughing. Imagine if someone actually did have 100 mana pool to start with.
That's Blitzcrank. You get 2 pulls and then
Oh,
you're
yeah, that's true, actually. Forgot about him.
done.
Poor
Very nice
Blitzcrank.
ward early.
Paladin's
spotting out
actually,
Kanye.
yeah, he's being very, very patient, but the lane is pressing in, so Halo can play very, very safe.
And you can see Paladin wants access to Kayn. Has the Hail of Blades, so early Rek'Sai damage is very large.
Looking
He's
for
going to
it.
spot him here.
Yep, actually looking for it. Misses.
Yeah, one of those weird situations. Doesn't have vision, and Kevy just has to completely concede. Top priority for the Karma, mid priority for the Tristana, so Paladin has all the boys if he needs it, and Kane's just going to run towards the other side of the map, look to trade blue for blue.
To start the vertical jungle off, but I do like that read from Mprox already, so this is a totally different start for them already. And this is the change up that I think Mprox need to restore some of that confidence.
Yeah. Certainly could be. It's a very different game plan here. It was like a Zir, Corki, like scale and scale. Caitlyn Zaya, just nothing happening for 20 minutes. One fight secures it, but a lot more onus here with the Tristana. The Braum with the Rek'Sai locked in. Kevy actually went for the Wolves first, so
So calling across his bot lane, just for extra safety. Yeah, because you do actually see Paladin making his way over.
And once again on the minimap, we saw Tristana jump forward and Halo has to Valkyrie backwards. But yeah, unfortunately, the price of Wolves is a blue buff. And it's not a very good time. You lose a blue buff to a Wolf camp, so Paladin actually is going to get access to both. Does he give it to the mid lane? Probably not. It's just a Tristana, not super mana reliant. XP in the jungle is super valuable. Already has a lead given he's stolen one away, and falling behind a Kayn can prove recipe for disaster. So Paladin being ahead of the curve feels incredibly nice here.
I haven't seen top Karma for a while. Ever since they made that first change to her, and everyone's like, whoa, Karma.
Yeah.
She's good again. On-hit Karma, cool.
Yeah.
And then she's come back a little bit.
Yeah, it was like super strong, 913, I believe, was the patch. She got slapped down a bit and then has been like tapped downwards in 914 and 15 multiple times. But
I like that, the various levels. It was like slapped and then tapped.
Yeah,
that's exactly how you describe the patch notes.
I try to like slap her into a hole and then just like tap her on the head to keep her down, you know, but she's still just
trying to climb out of it.
Yeah, blind pick professional play, just like, yeah, pick Karma, it's fine. I can play in all 3 lanes, it's whatever. Really hasn't done enough quite yet, but
it's funny that all these supports are really just breaking away from that mold. First we had like Pyke, then we had Tahm Kench, then we had Karma. When does it end?
It's interesting because I think Pyke is also incredibly good right now. Like even blind
pickable
Pyke
again
lane.
too, right?
Well, he got nerfed in terms of like solo lane potential.
Yeah.
Right games balance team were like G2, no thanks. Yeah. I hate what you've done to our beautiful boy. And let's send it back to bottom lane. And
Early
now,
dragon.
because he's had some like stylistic changes, right? Like Pyke went very early from being just like a build pure tank into like CC to like, okay, you dissuade like the HP buys obviously with a passive, but now you only see lethality. And now gets thrown from solo lane back to bottom lane and actually sitting in a reasonable spot.
I'm just glad I don't have to see the Tahm Kenches anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that was dark days.
Tahm Kench was a sad champion.
Yeah, that was just bad days. I'm like, why am I losing to this? All right, Redemp's actually starting the party onto Berserker, but you do have the junglers battling it off as well. Paladin chasing down Kevy, going for the wall. He does flash for it, knows that there's no more escapes. Kevy using his combo to get a little bit more distance.
Yeah, and actually just flash for nothing for the Kanye there, and gets some orbs as well, working on his way to transform. And I haven't mentioned it yet, but Blue Smite into Electrocute Kayn. This is going to be a blue Kayn. No red, no tanks. He just wants one hit potential.
I
Berserker,
love that. The ultimate coming out, locking down Berserker into place. Kevy is right back there. It surely will be the first blood. Kevy with that last strike.
Yeah, just sits behind him in the bush. Very smart play there from Mammoth. Hook, line, and sinker. Karma falls for the trap, and Kevy ganking range matchups, getting his transform even earlier. This is dangerous territory for Emprox to be in.
Even with that, though, for the first time tonight, Emprox is ahead in gold, even before that first blood got traded ahead. So they still are managing to keep up on the side of Emprox. All of their lanes are doing quite well.
As somebody has died.
It was Lived.
Connection
disconnected.
Is no bueno. Who was it? I didn't see.
Lived.
I was turning that thing off.
Yeah, Tristana. Yeah. So you can't see, but Bryce just kept doing this to me, and I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, you didn't get
I didn't get it. I was just like, what do you want me to do?
But yeah, unfortunate little disconnect there. We'll get back to you with the news. Unsure of what the problem is. As soon as we know, we'll hook you up.
He's too strong. He unlocked Tristana's potential in OCE. Just boomed his computer.
Just gets a Tristana. No! Get out of there. None of that. I feel like Halo would be definitely about that.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, you know what I mean? Like, if he's going to cosplay a champion, he's just Corky. He's just like, oh, and he's just like Valkyring away every 3 seconds.
It's Corky cosplay.
Yeah.
You saw it here first.
Yeah, that's it. No, actually, it's almost the Urgot. At LoL Origin, like last year, because I was GM in New South Wales, Biopanther is a real good time. He's so funny. Like, Urgot was OP, and he spent the entire, like, boot camp just, like, chugging around. He was just, like...
Was that when we just saw nothing but Urgot?
It was, like, Urgot Aatrox meta, and it was just, like... And neither of them were, like...
start of the year.
Like, so broken. I mean, both of them were literally busted, but everybody was just happy to handshake them.
Yeah,
and so every matchup
you get one,
was like...
I get one.
Yeah, it's like a 45-55 matchup.
Remember when we also did player, like, perspectives on OPL, and it was literally just the people who were playing Aatrox and Urgot, and you just saw their faces, it's like...
It's just like the least interactive matchup.
I swear they were like watching TV on the other screen, maybe Netflixing. I don't know what they were doing. They could have done anything.
Yeah, I feel like, is it illegal? Illegal is too big of a term. Is it against the rules to alt-tab during IPL? I think it's not.
What do you mean? As in, like, the players alt-tabbing?
Yeah, because I think it's not. Because remember, did you see, like, Wonder was, like, writing what is going on in a notepad and, like, drawing stuff in EU?
No, but I think it's not because it's at the detriment of your team. Like, actually, but then people could say that you're colluding or something like that. That's the only risk.
Well, I mean, you're in, like, a Of course, like OCS is online. We're talking about like OPL on stage, but you're in like a controlled environment. There is a ref standing behind you.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
in terms of things you can do,
yeah.
there's someone just like literally as soon as you alt tab, the ref's just like,
What are you doing?
what's going on?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are our refs doing in terms of figuring out what happened to Lived?
Yeah, God.
They're like,
God
come
knows.
on, be the boy who lived.
Yeah. I mean, well, lived. Okay, that's actually really funny because as well, Mprox had like last week where they had their disconnect. They started 45.
Yeah, okay.
So this
Wait,
is
do
2
you
weeks
know-
in a row.
So yeah, is Mprox playing at a LAN cafe? Do you know by any chance?
I'm
Again?
not sure. I know they were boot camping for quarters.
Mhm.
Whether they're like continued boot camping for semis,
Mhm.
that makes sense. Who was it? No, it was Miasma. Okay. Because in the first game, like draft, Miasma comes out and he has Ghost Cleanse, which tells me that like that account hasn't like played a competitive game. You know what I mean? Unless they were,
Yeah, 'cause
unless
it
they
was
were
like,
doing
what?
like a Mundo. Like a lot of pro players do like the warm up.
Yeah.
And you go into the Baron pit, and then you draw a line of wards, like pink wards, and then you just throw Mundo cleavers, and it's like a mechanics off.
Ah,
It's a real good time.
I
So
recently
maybe
saw
you
about
like
the
changed
CS
his
off.
sums for that, but yeah.
Yeah, I just recently saw the CS plan if you want to get better at CSing.
What's that?
It's just like some pro player made it. I don't know. I can find the name of it later.
Yeah, like
It's good though.
what is it?
Oh,
Like,
okay. What is
describe-
it?
like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
is it?
Okay, yeah.
You're
It's like
just like,
really
yeah,
intense.
this thing is
I don't know.
cool.
It's just like I kind of just skimmed over it because I was like, I should do this. Then you know where you bookmark those things so you can come back
You
to
never
it?
click the
Well,
bookmark.
because I already feel bad that I suck at CS. I either go really well at CSing or I suck at it. There's no in between.
Yeah, I just play support,
Yeah,
so it's fine.
I know.
I just hit cannons
It's so
and relic
good.
shield.
All you have to do is just build the item for it. It's great.
Yeah, it's actually sick.
But then knowing which item to build, that got me. I remember when I had to autofill for support, I'm like, oh no, do I take Runic Shield? Oh no, I don't know what I'm doing.
You
And I'm
didn't-
just like sitting in
it's
my
not even-
fountain.
It's not even runic shield, so there's your
Whatever.
problem.
Yeah, see, I don't play
It's
support.
just a
Don't
bad
ask
time.
me to play support.
I have been told we're just waiting for Liv to reconnect to the game, so whatever
Yay.
the issue was, he'll be getting back into it very shortly.
Getting back into his Tristana booming days.
Yeah, ready to rocket jump onto people's heads. We
Well-
haven't seen a Buster shot yet. Is he level 6? I think he's
He
probably
just hit it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
will just be level 6.
So for Mammoth, they just need to keep on keeping on. But for Mprox, finally for the first time, they've actually got a lead in game. And it's just going to be what are they able to do with it. I feel like a lot of that was swapping junglers. So to have Kevy taken, have the Rek'Sai taken away from Kevy,
Yeah.
it's really impacting their game in a positive light, at least for the early game.
Yeah, I think so as well. And like the clock, maybe that's a little too harsh, but I think the onus is on Mprox to make things happen this game.
Yeah.
Like early game lead, yes, you want to be able to snowball that one. That's like League of Legends 101. But given that I'm expecting this to be a blue cane and you have basically 0 tanks apart from the Braum, Braum doesn't even really deal with Kane that well.
Yeah, because he's just
like-
so slippery. He just uses the ult.
He's super mobile, like hard to hit with his skill shots, and then also like even if you land an auto attack, like the ulti takes so long. So like if he can kind of preempt in the same way that like Tom can devour someone out of the concussive blows, like Kane can just ulti someone and be fine. And then you look at it and it's like we have 4 squishy champions-ish that are all one-shottable. And if this gets late, then you do have like the Xayah Rakan. You have the mid lane, the Corki. Like if he hits 3 items, he's scary. And then Kane, in his own right, like you don't really think about junglers scaling that much. But Kane is definitely one of them,
He gets
especially
scary.
blue Kane,
Yeah, he
that
gets
skews it
scary.
really heavily.
It really does. Like, just count the games on both hands that I've lost to just Kane's just getting super fed in the
Yeah.
late game. You're like, oh, I'm fine. And then you're like, oh, I just got 100-0. This is fine.
Yeah. I've been told 3 minutes till we get back into the game.
Ah.
So Liv has just taken his sweet time to get
Do
back
you
into
reckon he made some snacks?
it. I reckon he's probably just like shit. Give me
Yeah.
that.
You'd have like your entire team like screaming at you.
Yeah. Yeah. So who knows what the issue was? But pause came through. Speaking of Kane, though, we haven't really seen Kane in OS since Swaith was on AV last split. 'Cause
Really? That
he
long?
was playing a bunch of Kane. Yeah, like he's not the most
We
popular.
saw
champ
some in
right now.
OCS.
Did we?
Yeah.
In early
In early weeks. Yeah.
Who?
Like once or twice. Do you want me to find?
Yeah, go for a scroll.
All right. You have to fill while I read.
Look, that's fine. How many notes do you have? That's the curious thing.
What do you mean? Like on teams?
Yeah, well, I'm just curious. Like, you got a bunch of champions written down. I'm just.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had a read in your notebook. You know what I mean? I'm
okay.
not prying into your notes.
Ah, yes. I
Okay.
see. Okay.
What
Well,
was
I
it?
have like
I see a Vi. Did we see? Yeah, we did see Vi.
Yeah,
that's
Vi.
actually really true.
it's like
I don't-
blast from the past.
I don't think we saw a Kane.
All right, hang on.
I'm going to double
Other-
down.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me see, and
Okay.
let's see who's right. The thing is, I skipped a week by accident. It was the week that I commentated because I
Ah.
forgot to write me. So I wonder if it was that week.
So we're hedging. So now
There's
there's
a lot
whole-
of Kindred.
now there's
A lot of
Yeah, there
Kindred.
was a ton of Kindred at the
Yep.
start.
We
of the
had a
season.
Skana.
Mhm.
Yep. Camille. Yep. Rek'Sai's. Lee Sins.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, Lee Sins.
Yep. He's a fun champ.
So
I like when Lee
Kane.
Sin's good.
There we go, Kane. Mammoth. Kane.
Oh,
Kane eat.
so he's already played.
He's already played it.
That's
Kevy.
really funny. Okay.
There you go. I was
On
like,
you, Kevy.
we've seen. I was like, I swear we've seen this. And also UQU. Kane. Candyman.
Yeah, okay, so we've seen double. Chat's flaming me for
And-
not committing to calling him a Kanye, by the way. I see you. I see you.
They're like, call him Kanye.
I alternate, and I'll just alternate the
Oh,
entire game.
Yorick, Elo.
Yeah.
That's a
He-
blast.
I
from the
mean,
past.
I was.
Dude, he played Yorick everywhere.
Yeah,
Top. mid.
literally in chat before this series started, he was just like, "This series needs more Yorick." He took a look at game one. He's like, "This is too slow." We need
Elo, I
Yorick.
love your dedication to Yorick. I really do.
Yeah, it's really wholesome.
It is.
It's really
like,
quite wholesome.
do you know who's that champ that you play no matter what? Like that champ that you is it Bard?
Bard. It's
Yeah.
Bard. Like you know what I mean? I can.
Where's your Bard tattoo?
I don't have any tattoos. I'm
yeah,
just
but
a
where's your Bard tattoo?
yeah,
Even
I
like a
don't-
temp tat.
a temp tag.
Yeah.
A temporary Bard tattoo.
Why not?
That's no.
For
I'm
just OPL or OCS days.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's just not gonna happen.
Flame him for his dedication, chat. Flame him.
Yeah, I'm not a one trick. I
I'm not a one trick. Everyone who plays League is a one trick.
yeah, okay. Well, we're just gonna bail real quick out of this conversation
Uh-huh.
because
We're back in game.
into the rift.
This is a combo for another
Lived is
pause.
back.
Mhm.
He's level 7.
Lived is living his best life. He does have that Buster Shot unlocked and still head for head in terms of that CS with Halo. Halo was really dominating the lane last game with that Azir, just
Yep.
pushing Lived constantly back. So it's good to see that Lived, he's just keeping up now.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because Corky's gone for the Carl pickup, so wants to play back as much as possible. There are a lot of pings onto a Braum. He's got to find a pink ward. Maybe Isles takes a look at it and is like, please do not let him take that one down. Fortunately for him, he is going to lose it and doesn't have a spare one, so do get traded 1-for-1 in the ward department, but... Oh, okay.
That's actually a nice sneaky play by Lived, at least gonna get the damage. Halo again chunked to less than half this time.
And without any bonus AD, right? Like, all he has is a longsword from the bilge water, but press the attack, amplify damage means the satchel does significant. I think Artek was looking to get the jump over the wall. Tristana and Braum is actually an interesting combo. If you jump to a mid-jump, mid-rocket jump before she is kind of out of range, but after she has gone over the wall, then Artek can time it just right to kind of follow in that situation, and then maybe the slow from Trist W is enough to land a Q. You follow up, and that could have been a kill, but it's not going to be the case. So just a chunk, just a reset there from Halo, and Package zooms his way back into mid lane.
This is going to be a strange question. No worries if you can't answer it. But do you know where the origins of Trist in the mid lane, in the top lane, basically as the flex started to, like, where did it hail from?
I think it was, I want to say like
I
in
was
EU
like,
West.
is it Korea?
No.
No,
Korea is actually not that innovative. EU
just
West
same old, same
is 100% like the most innovative region,
Well,
and then
they're bringing the fight. Like, remember how it was always Koreans at one every year, and then we're having a shake-up now.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
You get cookies, or bonus cookies for answering that, because I wasn't sure if you could. And I was like, no pressure if you can't, because it's
Yeah.
a very random question.
Yeah, no. It's because it was super recent, right? But like EU West comes up with a lot of things that then get perfected by Korea and then like played internationally.
Interesting.
And it's kind of weird, especially given the like G2 win MSI,
Yep.
that a lot of like, I mean, I can speak to OPL specifically because of my experience, but like so many people kind of look at Korea, and even if they don't admit it, like pro players, Korea is like the blessing. If somebody plays something in Korea, it's like, okay, coach, now I'm allowed to.
Tarek's
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like that's the benchmark where,
It
okay,
legitimizes
LCK
it.
has done it. It's no longer trolling if I just think it's good.
That's really
So yeah,
interesting.
it's sort of
the
weird.
mindset behind it all. We did see that trade as well happening in the bot lane. Ultimates were traded. Artek already has his backup. And Kevy is actually on the standby. They have no idea he's in there.
Is.
This is going to be the engage coming out now from Artek. Sorry, from Mboma.
Yeah.
Kevy, he's happy to
Well-
dive and get amongst it. That will be the kill being traded.
Yeah, they actually dropped turret aggro in the midst, so that turret shot does nothing to Kevy off the back end. No, the ulti takes him down, is still fishing for his transform, but Warrior completed stopwatch still available, and in a very good situation right now. Mammoth Ball!
Oh, Isles! He ate the cupcake, and he's going to eat dirt now.
God damn, that just sucks. Isles is going to watch that one back, and he's going to listen to us right now, and look, he really screwed the pooch. He just stepped on the trap and died.
I don't even know what that means. Is that
Neither
like a
do
really
I.
Aussie say?
Is it?
I have no
That's actually
idea.
really That's really standard, and I've never thought about it, and now I regret saying those 3 words together.
I'm just like, I don't want to be. Yeah. let's drop that
It's
one.
like it's just a
No,
it's
let's
a
drop
thing.
that one.
It's a thing.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But Rift Herald as well, taken up with Paladin, as you just saw on your screen. So he's keeping on track very, very well. It's almost the flip, right? Paladin's playing this one perfectly, just as Kevy was last game.
Yeah, and given that Kevy has found so much access to lanes, spent so much time ganking, fishing for that transform, 20 CS lead of the jungle is nothing to scoff at. Rift Herald taken his way, so it's not like he hasn't got objectives off the back end. Plating split between 4 different people.
Yep, and it's actually going to be Arls who's looking to try and make an engage. Artek is there to deter any further advance.
Does mean that the Xayah has been left alone on the bottom side. Second Mountain Dragon going to spawn as well, and this turret falling exceedingly low. Miasma is incredibly close to getting himself the Essence Reaver first item. Minions
to stroll away, just at
legends,
harm's way.
blocking the queue from Rek's side.
It's really interesting, right? Because we said that Kevy was just going to be the farmer, right? Like farmer Kanye, that's all we were expecting, but it's actually been the opposite. Paladin's been the farmer. Whereas we've seen Kevy, as you said, just to unlock his form a lot easier, to unlock Liu Kang a lot earlier, has actually been a lot more active in these lanes.
Yeah, it's ganking, or at least looking
Mountain
to gank
Dragon.
Comp again.
You feeling good if you're Emprox?
Yeah, Caitlyn Comp got themselves double 80 carry with the shields from Akama. Double Mountain Dragon is certainly a good time. Kane does have unique gank paths. He's actually looking for something top as well. Can go through multiple walls, and we are seeing that happen right now. Berserker has flash, uses it.
Yep, in the top lane. Looks like he's getting dove under the turret as well. That is going to be the kill. Flash coming out from Redems to make sure it doesn't fall on down.
Oy.
But actually, Kevy by that turret bolt, by the last bits of damage there, taken out. So that's a nice trade for Berserker.
Yeah.
Comes out on top.
Gets the 1-for-1. Kevy, of course, does have the stopwatch, but thought he was going to live on a sliver of HP. Unfortunately, it was not the case, so does end up trading 1-for-1. Huge flank in the bottom lane, though. Rek'Sai's found himself behind the bottom side.
Ooh, flash coming out as well, so he gets the knock-up, followed by the Braum ultimate, and Boma can't quite get in there, deterred by the teleport from Halo. Actually going to be a trade. That's 2 members of Emprox falling on down.
Yeah, Halo TP's bottom side, and they turn this one around. The Braum denies all of Xayah's feathers, but they just don't have the follow-up damage, and Boma not willing to commit any further. Lived is going to get some sort of recourse in the mid lane. Takes down that tower with the Tristana with the Satchel Bomb. She pushes incredibly quickly, but once again, a relatively slow game. This one is quicker, and Mammoth still building up a gold lead here. 600 in their favor.
Halo finds some value with that teleport now. Finally, with that kill, can really start to get his build online. Looking to finish that Triforce as fast as possible. Nice bit of trade from Mboma. Using the ultimate to chunk out Halo further, but has a couple more potions still up his sleeve and the biscuits if he needs.
Yeah, actually sitting on 2 bickies is a real good time.
Now bickies, that's, yeah. See, that makes more sense than whatever you said before.
Sure.
Miasma also done a little bit of a wander to that middle lane. Just holding. I wonder if they're going to commit to it. Actually, Kevy in that bot lane, he's keen. They're looking for the dive on Mboma.
Yeah, it's very low. No heal.
Use
no
the
HP.
ultimate, you can see. Mboma is barely living. Halo now going to drop down to the turret.
Oh, he dies. That's going to be an
Actually
execute.
gets an execute.
So not even a 1-for-1. Kill credit does not go over. Braum hard to push through because he can shield and give you aggro, but must be down already in the 2 versus 1 in the mid lane.
Again, in the bot lane, it's
No
going to be
help.
the trade now. This time, Lived picking up that kill onto Kevy.
They're dead.
Yep, straight up rotate.
He's Gonskis.
See ya later.
See you later, bud. Bork completed.
Oh,
Hit
sorry,
someone
was
with
that
the
a
slow.
double? Because Halo died too. Oh no, Halo died to the turret. My
Yeah.
bad, sorry.
Okay. Redems wants
Yep.
Berserker. Has
Locking
the boys
him in.
rotating as well.
Berserker uses the leash to keep him at bay, but doesn't matter. Isles is there with the charm, locking him up into position. Miasma picks up that kill.
Yeah, Mantra W not enough to heal you through a 3-man squadron as Mammoth pick up another pick on the other side. Yes, they got punished bottom, but still looking for some recourse. Lived has just been whacking turrets the entire game. Left alone mid now, left alone bottom side. Doing exactly the same thing. Halo has packaged, but is going to find himself a Santa Claus in the jungle. It may just be enough time for Liv to attack the turret.
Just like that, this game is so much more active. You see Mammoth with that 7 kills for Emprox. They're trying to open up the map, but it's blow for blow. Mammoth are keeping up very, very well. They're really anticipating the movements again from Emprox. Always seeming
mid
one
lane.
ahead. Mid lane has a nice scuffle going on. That's going to be the ultimate from Artek. Doesn't manage to quite connect, but it does get Kevy. Redempts is the next target that they want. Halo with the Valkyrie deterring them.
Yeah, packages in to save his teammates, and Kevy actually has the transform, I believe, but dies without ulti. Not able to dodge out of any sort of damage, so just gets eaten alive in the backside of Emprox, and picking themselves up another kill. 1.5k is the gold lead, given the last couple of turrets that go down, but game's certainly within touching distance. Redempts.
It says hello, going for the flash.
Ooh.
Looking for the burn. It's not going to be enough, though, to get that kill.
Yeah, wanted one more auto attack. Would have been enough, but unfortunate. Buster shot before the auto came out. Couldn't connect, and it's going to mean that Redempts lived. So burns the flash for naught. Gets himself some priority to play with, and he's just going to look for the reset here, though.
So Lived is turning into a little monster all on his own, constantly going to those side lanes, happy to take the 1v1.
He had Ignite. I just saw it.
Ooh.
That's an upsetting
That
one.
does feel upsetting, yep. It's always when you're in a rush sometimes with those turret dives as well.
There's so many buttons.
Yeah.
What? I guess it's
You
just,
know that-
there's not that many buttons, but like timing the auto with a Buster Shot, you're like thinking about, okay, I need Satchel Pop, I need Buster Shot, and I need the auto whilst they're traveling. And it's not often you play Tristana with Ignite unless you are a solo laner, so...
You know that meme where
Yeah.
you've got that person, there's like Pythagoras and all these numbers swirling above their head? That's literally Lived. Have you seen it?
What? 7th grade maths Pythagoras is like the extent
Yeah.
of... Wow, this guy's a genius.
Well, you know, it's as in like you're calculating super hard. I don't
Yeah.
know if like he's calculating. I hope he's not using Pythagoras. Like, bro, there's a better way.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever used Pythagoras outside of school?
No.
Yeah, neither. That's actually a nice knock there from Kevy. No follow-up just yet. Halo's still dealing with the wave.
A little bit of a scuffle in the jungle. Blue buff spawning as Kevy's going to find access to that one. Emprox just prizing the mid-prior right now, but Emps is just being left alone. You can see Berserker on this Karma has built up a bunch of armor, but is struggling. He's going to get himself out of underneath his turrets. Has spent the majority of this lane just getting dove over and over again by multiple people. Next Dragon going to spawn, and Mammoth going to pick up their first one of the game as well here.
Yep, going in for the Dragons. So they get their first Dragon of the game. Kevy picking that one up very, very convincingly. And for Mammoth, they're really controlling this mid lane and bot lane. They're happy to let Liv take out their outer turret. They're trying to deal with these middle turrets at the moment.
Yeah. So much time just whacking turrets. This game, you can see the plays to push bottom side, push in mid, fake the rotation over, and when the wave crashes, send all of the members. Maybe not, though, as the reset's going to come through with Corki. Liv sticks around and topside, notices the opportunity and wants to push further. The response has to be here from Halo, which means Redempts does just back away. So somewhat of a stalemate on either sides of the map. Is it enough time for Triss to take the turret? Satchel charge does a bunch of damage. Okay.
Ooh, yeah, it was.
See you later.
That is. I was like, maybe half, maybe a quarter. No, turret completely knocked over.
Maybe 2 halves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, the math.
It's got a double Mountain Dragon, so it does kind of skew things.
It does, it does. But the goal difference, they have been blow for blow. Just about a K separating them. In fact, exactly 1K.
Yeah, IE completed now as well. So 80 carries on multiple teams, well and truly online. Rapid almost done for the Caitlyn. IE almost done for the Corki. Not sure if he just dinged the Cull or if he's been sitting on that one for a while, but probably has a reasonable amount of gold in his back pocket just as Baron is spawning. 10 seconds away. Emprox, I'll mention it again, have the double Mountain Dragon. So any sort of time left alone in the pit will mean that that dies very quickly.
Man, just wailing a bunch of feathers onto Artek's shield.
That was so weird. Threw the Q very late, didn't want to look for the engage super early. Redempts is just alone bottom side. They have no TP. TP advantage for Mammoth, so they're trying to force it here.
They are. They have complete vision on it for Emprox, but the rest of the members of Mammoth, they sense something's up. Baron is at about a quarter of a health. Kevy is looking for something. The damage is coming out. Artek's trying to keep them there. It's going to be the Baron over. But now the fight is here. They're going to die with Baron. That's all the members starting to crumble. In fact, it's going to be a full ace.
A 5-man death ball, and Buster Shot keeps the jungler out of range. Unfortunately, though, yes, they pick up the Baron. They secure it in the hands of Emprox, but Mammoth, clean house in the Baron pit. Straight TP We saw it last game into the base, and
Are they
no
just gonna
Baron,
repeat back to
TP,
back?
and a Dream straight onto the Nexus.
Straight onto that inhibitor. As you said, Nexus turrets completely exposed. All the members of Mammoth happy to
10
take the turrets,
seconds.
utilizing that time. It's going to be 5 seconds until Artek's there. A support can't stop them all off on his own. First Nexus turret has been dealt with, and now the Nexus is completely open. Mammoth want to make this a 2-0. They're working their way onto it, and Mammoth have done it.
Straight into the grand final. Seed 1 of Mammoth going to be facing off against Seed 2 in the Dire Cubs. Somehow, Mammoths just don't need Barons to win games.
Nope.
Mprox able to secure that one, and that just very quickly escalated. It was like a let's start the Baron to force the TP. Oh crap, we're forcing a team fight. Oh god, all 5 of us have died, and double TP to an inhib. That's the game.
It's, again, that one big team fight, and Mammoth are like, thank you, that's all we really needed, / all we really wanted. And it's weird because Mprox also had the double Mountain Drake.
Yeah, right.
So,
well,
like,
I mean,
we expected them to be the ones sieging.
And I mean, like, you talk about the nuance, right? Like, that play to, you normally think about, like, the Alistar keeps the jungler away. Maybe, like, a support goes over, CCs them. Emperor throws them away with the ulti. Emperor's Divide. But, yeah, Buster Shot just shoots Kanye out of the pit. They smite that one. But then Isles on the Rakan, right? Like, Xayah Rakan, in terms of a team fight, when you're clumped up in a pit.
They've got dollar signs in their eyes.
Like, 100%. Yeah. That was probably, like, we didn't get to see a replay. We didn't get to see it twice. But that's probably, like, 5-man taunt, 5-man.
You saw the chunking.
Like
it was
charm,
all equal chunking.
W. Yeah, and it's just like the Featherstorm comes over and everybody dies at the same time. One member, like, flashes over the pit. And Camille's just like, all right, see you later. And, yeah, Mammoth, that was just a slow game turned on its head. Instant victory.
It sucks for Mprox. I feel so bad for them because, again, didn't play poorly. Just one sort of bad decision. It wasn't even a bad decision. Thought they could get away with it. But again, the fight conditions for Mammoth, they're like, cool.
Yeah, 100%.
We're going to wipe you. We're going to end. Done.
Yeah. Let's talk about the 2 teams we said farewell to today, of course, like Gravitas. I saw a tweet from Juves during the break, right? This is an entire rookie lineup that made it all the way to, like, the semifinals. Yeah, that was super successful. Mprox as well.
Yep.
Probably, like, one of the most consistent teams in the OCS this split, right? In terms of roster, play style, like, everything over the course of time, you could always rely on them to be, like, the barometer of the league. Like, teams above them, the Dire Cubs, the Mammoths, they do look fairly good. But this is a team that's not attached to, like, an OPL organization or anything. They are the one standalone org, and yeah, respectable split. Absolutely, came out with a pretty good performance.
Yeah, hold their heads up high and gave us a really, really enjoyable performance. Especially that second game. Like, there were definitely more kills. It was way more active, but at least they got to play the way they wanted to.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing, right? Like, both of the teams, so now looking at the victors today, like Dire Cubs, Mammoth, like Dire Cubs versus Gravitas, it seemed like Gravitas were kind of held in, like, the chains of their own making. They were like, this is our style, it's super greedy, like, they ended up getting punished for it fairly heavily. And Mprox, I feel like, yeah, they did get to play their stuff, and once again, like, Mammoth show up, they be the better team, but there was a lot of good, like, standard League of Legends at play here.
So this was, I guess, if you're just looking purely based on seedings, this was the expected result. So coming into the finals, you are going to have 2 powerhouses. The last time that they met, you did have Mammoth taking the winner against Dire Cubs. So it's really up to Dire Cubs.
Week 7, Dire Cubs coming out with the victory.
It was the first loss. We're like, can anyone upset Dire Cubs? And then Mammoth were like, yep, thanks.
Yeah, certainly
is. But still was a close game. From memory, it was very, very close.
Yeah, 100%. Because we also like to take that thought even further. Like, going into, like, the tiebreakers, you saw some, like, whitewashes of games, some also very close and back and forth. And it's like, oh, going into the quarters, going into, like the legacy of the Mprox that was sitting there, it's like, okay, like, what does this sort of look like in terms of, like, fighting up the ladder as you get there? And, yeah, I guess that has just proven true, right? Like, the 2 teams that got buys all the way to the semi-final stage. They just watched teams play tiebreakers, watched teams play quarterfinals. They were just chilling. Yep. And at the end of the day, they come back and they're just like, all right, let's go.
We show up and we're ready for the finals now. And this is going to be the best of 5 format as well. Yeah. So really competitive environment. It's not going to be over in just best of 1. We've seen best of 3. This is that full 5 games. And as you said, mini metas can evolve in this.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's always exciting to watch.
Yeah, and we'll bring up the graphic on your screen today just to recap what happened on the day, or just the playoffs overall, right? Gravitas had their run through Legacy, Mprox the same can be said over Order. And then here today, first game, Gravitas had a very dominant Game 1 victory, but the Cub pack proved way too strong, turned it around into back-to-back dominant performances. And Mammoth Academy having an easier time. The swift 2-0 of Mprox in kind of weird endings, right? But both of them very similar. Single team fight into a triple, double TP into an inhib to close this one out. It is going to culminate. All 11 weeks of regular season, quarters, semis, and tiebreakers is leading up into the grand final here. Dire Cubs versus Mammoth Academy. First and second seed, you can see respectively on your screens right now. 3 losses between these guys over the course of the season. Make it 4. Chuck in the one loss to Gravitas the Dire Cubs had during the semis just today.
Strong contenders.
And that's for an entire split,
Yeah, that's super strong contenders. It's going to be anyone's game. Dire Cubs, as we saw, if they stick to their plan, it's going to be a good day for them. But if they try to deviate, that's where they can find some bit of trouble. Mammoth, it's really hard to find any cracks in their current composition. They struggled in week 1. They didn't quite have the lineup that they needed. A couple of players were absent. They were still getting players in. After that, to have no losses, that's scary.
And I also think, like, to kind of oversimplify the matchup, I really like that it's like Brains versus like Young Mechanics crew. Like Dire Cubs are like the standard, like let's just play the meta, like we go back behind the scenes, like our drafting is very good and we just play like super standard. And Mammoth, I mean, today I guess they did show things different, but they're getting the respect, the Riven bands for Redemps up in the top side. Really do have pop-off players in all 5 roles. And yeah, once again, it is going to culminate in that best of 5, the only best of 5 of the OCS season 2019 next week, next Thursday. I'll say thank you, Vandy, for joining me today. It's been a banger day of semi-finals.
It has been.
We'll see you tomorrow for OPL. We'll see you guys there next week for OCS. Don't miss it. Last one of the split. Peace out.